First story. Can't believe it happened to me. I feel so broken and devastated. I'm turning to Reddit to see if it's cathartic. Wife for 6 years, relationship for 9. Thought I was the luckiest man in the world to be with such a great gal. We did everything together. Trips, plans, parties, walks. Felt we were inseparable. We rarely argued, we almost never fought. It seemed like we were peas in a pod. No challenge could occur that we couldn't handle. 3 weeks ago I noticed something different. I asked her what's wrong and she said she is really struggling. She doesn't know who she is anymore. She doesn't know if she wants to be married. Wow, I was blown away. Her complaints about us were specific to me, insulting really. I told her we could fix this like any other problem. I asked for couples therapy. She seemed dismissive about it. It was a hell of a week trying to give space, be patient, be kind, but also be independent. I had a therapy appointment that Friday and my therapist really helped. Things at home did not improve. Fast forward to last weekend. I get a random text from some lady with proof my wife is having an affair. I am bewildered and beyond all comprehension. They had the affair the very same day I was having my first therapy. The marriage is over, I know that. I sent her the photo and 30 seconds later I got a Dear John letter. How is this possible? How did this happen? Who is she that this is what she wanted to do? Update. I don't owe you anything. Top week since D-Day. I know everything and I am on my way out. I am getting a new app. She doesn't know yet. I am going no contact as much as possible. I need to move on and be free of this lyran wretch. It's the only way to recover from such a sudden theft of my reality. This person had the nerve to text me every day to remind me of some BS thing that doesn't matter. Oh, make sure to bring our friends some wine, we owe them. Oh, there is going to be traffic on Tuesday. The dog has been fed. I'm buying a new lawnmower. Why oh why does she not get it? I have not responded to any message and still she is acting like we still have friendship. Anyone else experience this? Anyways, I should have done it earlier. Blocked. Update. Leaving my cheating wife. I am going to be moving out and away from my cheating wife. She doesn't deserve me. I will be moving out this week. She doesn't know yet. Question. What would be a more powerful statement to make? Just leaving and taking my stuff with me, or leaving a note with all the things I want to say to her? I am currently no contact and need to keep it that way. I feel like I don't want to give any power to her, but I still want to call her out on all of her bullshit. Thanks. Stay strong. Update. Now she wants to talk to help me understand. She says she wants to talk. She says I don't understand. She doesn't want me ignoring her. She is the one who has rejected her husband because she wants something different and had an exit affair. She says she knows she messed up. I don't see the point of any more talking, but I feel I'm still a chump and a sucker for her attention. Even though my reaction to her right now is anger, disappointment, and disgust. She tells me my emotions are unhealthy and lose a cheater gain a life is a toxic book. Update. Today I am moving out. Today is moving day. It's been a month since I found out my marriage was in trouble. 2.5 weeks since I found out about the affair. I have been mostly in C since then. Found a great app and I am moving out today. So many mixed emotions that I feel completely empty. The questions I'm left with will have to go unanswered. The biggest one is, why didn't she try and save our marriage when she realized she wasn't happy? The truth is, she didn't respect or love me enough to do the right thing. So I am moving on, moving out, feel the pain, and let life be what it may. I will continue to work on myself. In my life, I am the only person who I can trust. Found that out the hard way. I am thankful there are no kids. I am thankful I was told about the affair by a third party. I am thankful I have a great family. I am thankful for a good job. And I am thankful to be free of this. Thank you everyone for your support through this horrible time. Update. First night in the new apartment. Well, I've moved out. I took everything I wanted and left all of our memories for her to deal with. I will never go back to that house. If I have forgotten anything, I can meet her somewhere to pick it up. The app is a mess, boxes and stuff everywhere, but it's kinda exciting to be able to make it just how I want. I have extra rooms for family and friends. It's clean and bright. Next goal is 1 week hard NC, then a month, then 6. It won't be complete NC forever, but I'm looking for a break from her to start to heal. Anyone have any tips or tricks to help when my mind wanders to her? Where is she? What is she doing? What I do now when this happens is grounding exercises, but I'm looking for more. Thanks everyone for the support. Update. It's been a hard day today. Hey everyone. Just need to write something to help deal with these negative thoughts. My wife had an exit affair and dumped me about 5.5 weeks ago. I have since moved out and I am NC. I cannot believe how much my life changed in a month. It's like I woke up from a beautiful dream and my new reality is a nightmare. Today I can't stop thinking about why our marriage wasn't worth saving or working on. Why was running away and doing the things she did more appealing? I know the reality, it doesn't really matter. No answer would be satisfying or make me feel better. There is no point to ask these things, yet my mental monologue keeps asking these questions. I try and stay busy, I work out, I have a lot to do to start a new life. It's those quiet moments where my rage at her turns to grief and wanting to understand. I try and snap back to reality, it doesn't matter. She can't give you anything to relieve this. She is not the person I once knew and loved. That person either wasn't real or she changed. Again, I don't think it matters. Thanks everyone for your support through this. Second story. My girlfriend took me on vacation to cheat on me. My 33M girlfriend 31F, let's call her Rose, said she'd been wanting to take a trip to Colorado to visit her aunt. The last time we saw her aunt was 2 years prior when she came over for her birthday to surprise Rose. Her aunt is like a second mother to her but had to move away with her husband for work 5-ish years ago. We planned the trip, I buy the tickets, book the hotel and fast forward to 2 days ago we're in Colorado. We settled in at the hotel, visited her aunt, went out to eat, came back, slept, and yesterday went over there again. After coming back to the hotel yesterday, Rose tells me she wants to go back to her aunt's to sleep over her house. I thought that was kind of odd since we're visiting here for about a week and still have a lot of time to see her, and we have to Uber to her aunt's house. But I didn't think much of it and figured she just wants to spend as much time with her as possible. She leaves and an hour or so later, I text her to see what she's doing because she never let me know when she got to her aunt's house, which is about a half hour away. She doesn't answer the text and doesn't answer my call, and I start to get a little worried so I call her aunt and ask if Rose is there. Aunt said she's not in while telling her that she should have been there by now. Rose texts me saying she's in the living room watching TV with her aunt. Now 2 thoughts are in my mind. Rose lied to me, and she's somewhere else or something bad might have happened to her, and she's not the one texting me. I told her aunt I'd call her right back and call Rose. Rose picks up and says she's in the bathroom and she'd call me right back, and before I get to say anything she hangs up. At this point my heart is in my stomach and my palms are sweating and I'm freaking out thinking there's no way she's cheating on me with someone. I've had this weird vibe from her lately, like she hasn't been acting totally like herself, and she's done some questionable things when we first got together, but nothing this crazy. I knew her aunt would be worried since I was asking where she was, so I called her aunt back and lied and said that she entered the wrong address, and she decided to just Uber back to the hotel and we'd see her aunt tomorrow. I try to call Rose and text her for like 2 hours straight to see WTF she's doing, and she doesn't answer. I didn't know what to do and just started walking all around town, chain smoking cigarettes waiting for a text or a call. I finally go back to the hotel and end up knocking out on the bed after staying up for a little longer trying to call again. And then I wake up this morning to her walking into the hotel room. I jump out of bed and I said, "What were you doing?" I tried to text and call you for hours and you didn't pick up or answer anything. She said she was sorry and that she fell asleep with her phone on mute, charging in her aunt's bathroom, and then walks to the bathroom in our hotel to brush her teeth. At this point I'm furious because I know she's lying and I was thinking of a million ways on how to react. But when she walks out of the bathroom I just blurted out, "I called your aunt yesterday, and she said you weren't there as you texted me, saying you were there. Where were you?" She freezed and her eyes opened wide and just started crying. I already figured she cheated on me, but her reaction just confirmed it for sure, and I said, "Oh my god, you really cheated on me. You brought me on vacation to cheat on me. Where did you go? Who were cheating on me with? Did you know them this whole time? Was your aunt just an excuse to come here?" And the entire time I'm asking questions she's ignoring everything and just repeats "I'm sorry" while crying. She stops crying and tells me she has been talking to this guy she met through Instagram, and thought she'd go and spend time with him while she was here, and was trying to tell me that she didn't do anything and they just talked and hung out, but knew I wouldn't be okay with it, so she lied and said she was going to her aunt's. I respond saying, "Are you serious? You're lying to me again? You really expect me to believe that? You were literally just crying because you're guilty." And she starts crying again. She finally says she did really meet the guy through Instagram, and that he makes custom jewelry, and at first she was interested in a ring. But it turned into them talking and they've been planning to meet since I first booked the flight and hotel. She said they had sex, and as soon as she woke up this morning she felt disgusting and rushed back to the hotel. And she kept apologizing to me and saying she'd do anything to fix this, and I said nothing, just walked out, took an Uber to another hotel. And I've been sitting in the room bawling my eyes out, wondering where to go from here. The flight back isn't for another 3 days, and I don't know how I'm supposed to sit next to her on the plane. I feel sick to my stomach and lost. Update. After careful consideration, based on all of the advice from you guys, I have decided to fuck the custom jeweler for revenge and to assert my dominance. He's picking me up soon. We'll keep you guys updated. My ex is gonna hate me for this. Update. I'm straight, but wow, what a night. I called my ex while I was asserting my dominance with a custom jeweler, and she was devastated. I just called the aunt and invited her over to really turn this into a party. Thanks for the advice, guys. Third story. I, 26M, caught my girlfriend, 30F, cheating. Didn't realize how long this post would be, but wanted to give every single part of the story so that way I can get the best feedback advice out of this, because I'm looking for answers and not sure what to do next. Last month I caught my girlfriend messaging a guy that had some pretty damning stuff on it. Now before you ask why did you go through her phone? Do you not trust her? At the time it had happened, I lost my job in April and was trying my hardest to find a job. So we were fighting a lot due to me not finding a job, all while I had just started school in March. I also had just started going to school in March, so I was pretty much leaving her on her own in our apartment at night Monday, Thursday. Another addition to the story is that whenever I get a girl that messages me, she is the first person I tell. That way if she ever questioned me about it, she already knew who it was. So leading up to me looking through her phone, she was acting different when we would hang out on my days off from school. Like being on her phone and sitting in the corner so I couldn't see what she was doing, hiding her phone, and to me, just being secretive. So I talked to a friend about it and they were telling me to just go through her phone and see what's up. And I always put that off because I would hate to find something I don't want to see. I trusted her to be loyal and not doing anything to lose it. The week prior to the incident, she was showing me something on her phone and I noticed a guy was messaging her, a name I have never seen or someone I've never heard of. So I tell her, "Hey, some guy is messaging you right now." Of course I didn't open it, again because I don't want to see anything I don't want to see that'll ruin everything. She came back with, "Oh, he was telling me different workouts to do to help grow my legs, and I played football all the way until freshman year of college. and also did training with a powerlifting coach. So I felt as if I had enough knowledge to help her in that category. I didn't say anything and just let it go. So that day, I felt like I had seen enough of how she was acting and finally acted upon myself to finally go through her phone. First app I searched was Snapchat since I had seen the guy's name pop up a week prior. The first guy on the app was a different guy she had been messaging the day before, so I clicked on his, and there was the one thing I never wanted to see. She had posted a throwback picture with her in a bikini in a pool, and her butt was hanging out. The guy says, "Damn girl, them checks, have my baby." Now instead of saying EWW, I have a man. She answers, "Lol, I ain't trying to have a baby." He says, "Well, I'd love to come on that ass though." She answers, "I know you would." He says, "That's what I'm going to do." She answers, "We shall see." He says, "I don't remember where I came last." That's where I freeze and take a picture of the conversation, put her phone down because she was coming out of the restroom. I had no idea what to do. Do I say something? And I didn't. I called my best friend after she left for work and told him everything, and he said, "You have two options. End things or make it work." I end up finding this guy's Snap profile and screenshotted the profile and sent it to her to see if she confesses to what she was doing. So I sent it and asked her who the person was. I have no clue who that is. Before I could even text her back, she calls me saying I have no clue who that is. Why are you asking? So I sent her the picture of the conversation and said, "Check your phone again." She stays quiet to what I'm thinking she's reading the screenshot, then says, "I'm so sorry, I messed up, I made a mistake." And I knew right then and there that she was caught, and of course we go back and forth on the phone. I tell her I'm packing her things and that we're done. She's fighting with me about how it was only that one night, it didn't mean anything, and that she tried telling him to stop conversations ago but he kept on. She leaves work early and comes home to all of her stuff packed by the door, and she breaks down. She begins to tell me that it meant nothing. Pretty much doing everything she can to try to convince me that it was really nothing. I tell her, "Okay, let me see the messages then. Let me go through that conversation and read through it. You want innocence? Let me go through it." Well, of course, she already blocked him and the conversation is gone. And she goes on about there was nothing but him trying to talk to her, but she ignored him, and that she would tell him that she had a boyfriend. I never once believed it. So after hours of fighting, we finally came to the agreement that we would take a break to give me time to think about everything, and once she talked to her mom about moving in with her, her mom's pretty much said there's no room for her to move in and that she needs to fix it with me. She breaks down and says I have nowhere to go, and of course I buy into it and have to come to the understanding that she probably doesn't have anywhere to go and told her to unpack her things herself. But that I don't forgive her and am for sure not going to forget. Fast forward 3 weeks after the situation, I finally found a job, and to celebrate, we're hanging out with friends, and one of our friends always tells us, "Girl, I hold men to your man's standards," pretty much saying that I'm a good man. I do everything to make sure my girl is taken care of before I take care of myself. And she goes on to tell us this multiple times throughout the night, and it made me mad. While driving home, I tell her it's crazy that I'm considered the standard for your friends, but they don't know how dirty you did me. She shuts down and starts crying about how it was a mistake, and that she promises it'll never happen again. And before we go to bed, she opens about, "I figured you'd be over it already." I remind her of the dirty things her ex did to her, and how he did the same things she did to me, and ask, "Did you ever get over it? Did you ever forget?" And she says, "Of course not, it hurt when I found out." I replied, "Exactly, so why should I be different in the sense of just getting over it like it never happened?" So everybody, I don't expect a whole bunch of people to make it this far, but I'm really seeking advice on either how to get through this, or reasons why I should just give it up. I don't want to give up on what we have, but I also am always overthinking about what my girl is doing, who she's messaging, what is she doing while I'm at school work. But I also don't want to keep going on with this because I've been cheated on and gave second chances, all for it to happen again. I always told myself I would never go through that again. But here we are giving second chances again. All feedback is welcome, good or bad, just wanting something to help me get through this tough time. Fourth story. My GF of 2 years cheated on me and is currently dating the other person. I'm trying to properly move on, but the feelings still come up. I was in a relationship with my ex for roughly 2 years, and it started through a friendship in high school. Everything was going uphill from my point of view up until the last couple of months of 2023. She started hanging out with a coworker of hers and saying stuff like he invited me out since it's his birthday, or going on a late night call he's just a friend. I had a problem from the start as she was set on going even though I felt uncomfortable with it. A month later she told me she was on a call with a friend. Usually she would state the friend's name, so I asked who it was. She said her coworker, which made me feel really uncomfortable as it was a work night at 3 a.m. and on a call with someone I already felt uncomfortable with. This started an argument which led to her saying I want this to work between us, but I feel off. This made me just spiral with questions, and I didn't know how I would go about with this situation. A week later she was totally off when hanging out, no longer meeting at any of our places and no more humor in her end. It got to the point where I just straight up asked her if it was him, and she went silent, which led to a string of other comments and me breaking it off. She kept in contact with me, even exchanging Christmas gifts. We had a conversation during the meantime with her saying she doesn't know what's going on right now, but she wanted it to work between us and to just give her time. With that being said, I wasn't so sure and decided to just lay back on the whole possibility of it continuing. 2 days later I received a photo from her of clearly a guy's face. I asked if it was him and she blocked me. I then found out, not even a month later, that she is now in a relationship with him. I asked if I could have my belongings that were still over her place, which she agreed to, but I never received. I still find myself almost every week pondering over the situation, even after 7 months since it ended. I don't know how to go about anything of the situation. I've connected with friends and family more, and even getting the job I wanted. Though ever since then, I feel like I've never been able to truly enjoy what's come of it. I feel lost in a spiral loop. I've even met other people, but I don't want this to affect them, so I try to focus on myself, but nothing really changes it.